Good morning, all my friends. Happy to see you guys for another successful week. This week is going to be a little shorter. I hope you guys enjoyed your long, extended weekend. But let's jump right into our math lesson for today. We're going to read our I can statement. It's on the board already. I'll read first, then you guys are going to repeat. I can identify 10 less or 10 more than a number using base 10 blocks. Now, the concept of 10 less or 10 more isn't new to us because we learned it when we were in school. But when we were learning it in school, we used a hundreds chart. And if you remember, that was that big chart that had numbers from 1 all the way to 100. Today, the new strategy that we're going to be using is our base 10 blocks. Now, if I'm going to use my base 10 blocks, that means that I'm going to have to draw a picture. Awesome job. We're going to be talking about 10 more or 10 less. Now, I have a critical question for all of my friends. So I want you guys to put your thinking caps on. And this is my critical question. What is the relationship between more and less with addition and subtraction? So I'm going to say it again. What is the relationship, or how are they connected, between more and less and addition and subtraction? So in order for us to think about this, well, we need to think about what happens when we add and subtract. So when we add a number, what happens to that number? Does that number become more or does it become less than? Yes, it becomes more than. When we have subtraction, what happens to our number? Does the number become more than or less than? If you said less than, kiss your brain. So the relationship between more and less and addition and subtraction is that whenever we want 10 more, that means that we are going to add or subtract. Yes, we are going to add because we want the number to get greater. Whenever we see less than, that means that we are going to subtract. So that's how they are related. It's important for us to know this because when we are drawing our picture, we know that if we want 10 more, that means that we're going to have to draw some more. And if we want 10 less, we need to X them out. Awesome job. Since we have been able to identify the relationship between more and less than with addition and subtraction, we can continue to move forward to finish our I can statement. We're going to be identifying 10 more and 10 less than a number using our base 10 blocks. When we are talking about numbers, whenever we talk about numbers, it's important to remember that every number has a place value. We learned last week that numbers that have 2 digits are called what kind of numbers? Yes, 2-digit numbers, which means that they have 1 place value or 2. Show me with your fingers. Put it on your chest. Put it on your nose. Yes, 2 place values. Today, we're going to be working with 2 different place values. Can you whisper to me what 2 place values do you think we're going to be working with today? I think I heard it. We're going to have a tens place and a ones place. Now, if you remember from last week, I gave you guys a secret and said that whenever we work with 2-digit numbers, we are always going to have ones place and tens place. That's how it becomes a 2-digit number. Awesome. So today we want to jump right into it. Our work is going to be given as following. I'm going to give a number, and then I'm going to say if I want 10 more or 10 less. So I'm going to give 3 different examples on the board. I want you guys to help me figure it out. The first one we'll do together. The next 2, I'm going to expect you guys to do it, and then I'll write the answer on the board. The 2 numbers that I have on the board is the number 50 and the number 70. We're going to do our third example, but after we get these 2 done. So when I'm looking at the number 50, I want to do 10 more than 50. I'm going to use 2 different colors so that we can see what 10 more looks like and what 10 less looks like. Well, the first thing that I have to do is I know that I'm going to use what? Base 10 blocks. So I'm going to draw my base 10 blocks. And let's remember, last week we learned that when we draw a base 10 blocks, we don't draw them as a line because we want to make sure that we're able to write inside of them when we start doing more complicated addition and subtraction. So the way that I draw my base 10 blocks is kind of like a rectangle. Does this base 10 block represent 50? No, it doesn't. How many 10s are in the number 50? Let me hear you say it. Yes, 5 10s, which means that I need 5 base 10 blocks. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 equals 50. Okay, I want 10 more. So the first thing that I want is 10 more. Well, at the beginning, if you remember, I asked a critical question. It was, what is the relationship between addition and subtraction and more and less? And we said that the relationship between addition and subtraction and more and less is that whenever I want 10 more, I need to add. If I'm going to add 10 more, does that mean that I'm going to add 10 more base 10 blocks? No, because I know that if I want 10 more, I only need 1 base 10 block, because 1 base 10 blocks equals, well, let's see. It equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how I know that if I want only 10 more, I'm only going to add 1 more base 10 block, because that gives me a total of 10 more. Let's see if this makes sense. So I want 10 more than 50. Well, let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I'm saying that 10 more than 50 gives me 60. Now, I won't always encourage this, but because we may not have a hundreds chart at home, I want to show you guys another way that you can check your work. I'm going to hold 50 in my head, and then I'm going to count 10 more to see if it equals 60. So, starting at 50, 51, count with me, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 59, 60. Do I have 10 fingers up? Yes, I do. Is 60 10 more than 50? It is 10 more than 50. Awesome job. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to leave my 50 up there and my 5 10s because I'm still working with the number 50. I did 10 more than 50. Now I want 10 less than 50. Think about the critical question. The relationship between more and less in addition and subtraction. Well, addition means that we had to add one. That was for more. Less than means we have to subtract. So I want 10 less, which means that I want to take 10 cubes away. Do I want to take 10 base blocks away? No, because I know that one of these equals 10. Awesome job. We saw that here. So now I want 10 less than 50. Well, how much is 10 less than 50? 10 less than 50. How am I going to solve this? Will I draw one more? No, I won't draw one more because that would make the number greater. So now I have to take one away. And the way we take one away is by Xing one out. I want to remind you guys, the reason why we're Xing one out is because one of these equal how many? Yes, it equals 10. So I'm going to X one out to see what is 10 less than 50. So I'll X this out, and then we'll count. Ready? 10, count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40. It equals 40. Again, I'm going to check that way that I usually don't really like checking, but because we don't have a hundreds chart probably at our house, I want to show you guys another way to do this. So we have 50 in our head, then we have 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40. 40 is 10 less than 50. The next number that we have is 70. Now for 70, I'm just going to do 10 more because I have 10 less and I left it up here on the board. I know that we did 10 less and 10 more for 50, but for 70, I'm just going to do 10 more. Well, the first thing that I need to do, so step number 1 is always draw out our original number. So our original number is 70. How many 10s are in 70? Yes, 7 10s. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So step number 1 is draw our original number. Step number 2 is try to figure out if I need to add one or take one away. So if I'm doing 10 more, step number 2 is going to tell me that I need to do what? Add or subtract. Why look at the word more, that's why it was important for us to learn the relationship. We learned that more means that we are going to add or subtract. Yes, we're going to add. We are going to add 10 more. And because I want 10 more, I know that just one of these base 10 blocks will give me enough, because inside of the base 10 blocks, how many blocks do we have? Yes, 10. So I want 10 more than 70. What am I going to do? X one out? Draw 10 of these? Oh no. Oh, only draw one base 10 block? Okay, let's see if that works. Step number 2, I identified that more means that I need to add. I know I'm going to add one more because that's how many is equal. Let's make sure that you can see that. So now my third step is to count and solve it. So let's count and solve. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 80 is 10 more than 70. My last step, because I always want to make sure that I'm doing this right and I'm checking my work, is to check my work. So I have 80 here. So I'm going to hold 70 in my head. And I'm going to count how many more? Yes, 10 more. Ready? So we're at 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. 80 is 10 more than 70. 40 is 10 less than 50. If you look at our place values, which place value is only changing? Here, I have a 0 in the ones place and a 5 in the tens place. Here, I have a 0 in the ones place, but a 4 in the tens place. Here, I have a 0 in the ones place and a 7 in the tens place. And here, I have a 0 in the ones place and a 8 in the tens place. So when we're using this strategy, 10 more and 10 less, does our ones place change at all? No, the only place that changes is our tens place. But what if we had a different number than 0 in our ones place? Is that concept still going to be true? Oh, let's check and see. I'm going to write the number 22 on the board. And if that rule is right, that means well, let's do 23. That way we don't get confused with our 2's. If my concept is right, that only my tens place changes, that means that 3 should be exactly the same, whether I'm going 10 more or 10 less. Do you think our 3 is going to stay the same? Let's check and see. I want to do 10 less than 23. And let's see what we get. Well, step number 1 was first draw our original number. How are we going to draw this? Well, how many 10s do I have in the number 23? 2 10s. Can I stop there? No, I can't stop there because 2 10s doesn't show me 23. 2 10s only shows me 20. So what do I need to do with this 3? Am I going to draw 3 more 10s blocks? No, now I'm going to draw single cubes because that is what I draw to represent my 1s. So I'll draw 3 single cubes. Now when I count this, I have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 and 23 are the same. Well, I want 10 less. If I'm taking away, because less, the relationship with addition and subtraction means that I'm subtracting. So I'm going to put a little subtraction sign up there. I'm going to take 10 away from the number 23. So do I need to take away any of these single cubes? No, I don't. Because I can take away a 10 cubes because that's what I want. I want 10. So now that I have taken 10 away from 23, let's count and see how many are left over. We have 10, 11, 12, 13. So 10 less than 23 is 13. Well, remember, I said that we want to check our work. And possibly you don't have 100 charts at home, so you can use your fingers. I'll allow it just for this one time. So we have 23 in our head, and we're going to count backwards 10. So do it with me. We have 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. 10 less than 23 equals 13. Today, when you guys go back to do your work, you are going to use this concept. Make sure you are using your base 10 blocks. Remember the rule. Our ones place stays the same. Only our tens place changes. Our steps, number 1, draw the picture of the original number. Number 2, identify if you are going to add 1 or subtract a base 10 block. Our third step is to answer it, and our fourth step is to check your work.